Japanese university life. A great place to learn, a great place to meet new people, and of course, a great place to have a freaking good time. But, well, student life, as you probably know, well, comes with quite a few
monetary constraints.
And if you're not careful, well, you're going to be running into problems. Like I did. But as an old Japanese saying goes, a crisis is just another opportunity for an opportunity. So I decided to take all the stuff that I've learned living in Japan under a budget and give you a tutorial on how you too can survive on a budget at a Japanese university living the student life. And because not everybody eats the same things all the time, I've decided to give you both advice on how you can cheaply live with a diet focused on carbohydrates and also how you can cheaply live with a diet focused on proteins and fats. And to make things even more interesting, I've decided to also show you what it's like to live as a student who has a little bit too much money. And at the end of this video, you're gonna hate that guy. But now we need some ingredients to live, right? So, well, let's go to the supermarket. I'm right now on my way to a supermarket. The issue is, due to the overabundance of convenience stores everywhere, supermarkets get, pushed further away from you. And supermarkets are the place where food is quite a bit more affordable than, in convenience store. This convenience, costs extra. And thus it takes me around 20 minutes on foot to get to the nearest supermarket. But the prices over there are definitely worth it. I'm right now standing in front of a store called Yaosen. That's the supermarket I was talking to you about, and it is way cheaper than any convenience store and any other supermarket that is around. And why is that? Well, that's because the opening times for this month are severely limited compared to everything else in Japan, which is open basically 24/7. This one is, for example, closed on Wednesdays and is only open between 10 AM and 6 PM, well, on every single other day. But otherwise it's closed, and it's really busy right now. I did not expect that. So I guess I'm gonna pack this camera away and instead continue filming in there a little bit sneakily with my cell phone.
The tiny landmass of Japan causes a situation where vegetables and fruits are very expensive to obtain. Especially talking about fruit, where a single apple can cost you something like $1. Comparatively, meat and fish products are quite cheap, so knowing how to cook these is the key to living affordably. Well, that means being quite unlike me here. All I usually do is buy the big bulk packs of sausages, bacon, and eggs. Buying in bulk is yet another key to living cheaply. Rice is quite a bit cheaper if you buy it in bulk. Well, the 10-kilogram pack at once. And if you are someone who really likes rice and is focused on having a diet on carbohydrates, I can really recommend you to buy that 10-kilogram pack of rice. One general rule of thumb, stuff that is more typical in the local area, such as daikons and rice in Japan, are quite a bit cheaper than stuff that is more typical to other countries. Seriously, this massive daikon you can just buy for 100 yen. If you know how to cook that, well, you're gonna live very cost effectively. But now I have enough stuff to cook my breakfast in all kinds of situations. Let's swoosh to the dorm and, well, start some hip-hop music and get on going and cook some carbohydrates.
So basically, what I want to show you right now is how to make one of my favorite recipes. It's really simple and it's really plain, and it's basically just rice and milk. Well, it's called milk rice or sweet rice. It's a dish that is very popular in Germany and surprisingly also Mexico for some reason, and maybe other places in the world.
Cooking milk rice is very simple. The only thing you have to do is first boil milk, then put it down to a lower temperature, add the rice, and then simmer it until the rice has absorbed the milk. And then it's already ready to be served. Milk rice can either be consumed cold or warm. It's good either way. Some add jams and others add cinnamons, which is also my personal favorite. And the great thing about milk rice is that you can prepare it once and have a ton of portions available for later consumption. Takes around 20 minutes or so. But that is a very cheap and effective way to consume rice and have a great delicious breakfast. So let's just see what we can do with proteins. Cue the rock music. After an excellent morning workout, you need protein, and you need protein fast, and you need it cheaply too. So throw up the fryer, get in some bacon, some sausages, and 2 eggs, and you've got it. Alright, that's about it. All you need now is some coffee. Buying coffee at the convenience store, while very convenient, will rack up quite in price after some time. So it's just way better to make your own damn coffee. And that is actually pretty easy in Japan. Just get a coffee machine for 1,000 yen. Seriously, that thing cost me 1,000 yen. Calculated over 6 months stay in Japan. That's 7 yen a day at most. And, well, then of course your own powder and milk. And all of that will cost you maybe 50 yen a day for your entire coffee needs. And so, well, that's all with the coffee. I guess we need to now compare it to the breakfast of someone with a little bit too much money. And that someone's name is Rich Neko. Rich Neko is basically me, but he wears a suit. And Rich Neko does not like things that are cheap. He only needs the most premium stuff. So he's going to a cafe, a European-style traditional cafe for his breakfast. Rich Neko really likes traditional European coffee and croissants. And that's why he wants to continue doing so, even though he is right now in Japan, where he should usually get a cultural experience over there. But, well, he doesn't care. As a general rule of thumb, stuff that is imported is more expensive. Well, but that's just perfect for Rich Neko. He only wants things that are expensive. A croissant here costs around 200 yen. That's quite a price. So, well, Rich Neko is gonna get 3 of them, along with a coffee. And their presentation is actually pretty damn good here. They are served in a very nice, cute little basket.
I love croissants so much.
I always wondered why so many Japanese people go to these kind of places. These places do not feel particularly special to me, and, well, considering the high price, why should I go there? But then I realized that to the Japanese, European stuff seems foreign. So just like how we find Japan so exotic and romantic, Japanese people feel the same way about Europe. So that's why they pay that little bit extra just to experience that traditional European experience. And just like how the English is poor in Japanese stores, well, the Chinese labels in Europe are probably not that great either. There's a bunch of people that get like these really stupid tattoos sometimes. Anyways, Rich Neko's breakfast is over. Let's jump straight to lunch. But, well, back to the carbohydrate guy. And more hip-hop. For lunch, I decided to go and meet with my friend Takato.
What's your opinion on lunch?
Be cheap, be delicious.
Takato hits the nail right on the head here, and that's why we're going to the university cafeteria for lunch. Japanese cafeterias are really delicious and also really healthy. Their servings include usually a lot of ramen and donburi, and there is no wonder that a lot of people usually go there during lunch break. These lunches usually cost between 400 and 500 yen, so definitely affordable for a typical student. It is of course cheaper to go and bring your own stuff, but considering that during lunch you don't have that much time, you need to get back to your studying right away, 400 to 500 yen is definitely a great deal. But for protein, it's a bit difficult in the cafeterias. So, well, Kombini to the rescue. You can go to a convenience store and buy fried chicken. Generally, 2 pieces of fried chicken will get you around 500 kilocalories, and they cost around 170 yen each, totaling around 350 yen for 2 pieces of fried chicken. Definitely affordable and delicious if you're focused on proteins. Well, and of course Rich Neko. Well, Rich Neko doesn't go to the cafeteria with the other peasants. No, he goes to the Chinese restaurants down the street, which offer larger portion sizes at a still rather affordable price. So Rich Neko just has to order the most expensive item on the menu, which he does, and then eats deliciously. But because it is a bit more expensive, Rich Neko doesn't have to, queue in line with all the other masses of students that want to eat during lunch. Well, time is money, and thus he can enjoy the rest of the lunch break much more easily. But you know what? 800 yen for a set portion of food? Well, Rich Neko isn't quite happy enough with that. He still goes to the convenience store and buys himself a coffee over there for another 180 yen, bringing his total up to 980 yen for lunch. But now that we're done with lunch, we need to talk about snacks. So let's quickly swoosh over to the supermarket once again. Well, the last thing that I need now is fruit. Gotta get that vitamin C somehow. There are a couple of fruit that are actually affordable, mainly bananas and seasonal fruit, but mainly bananas. at 300 yen for 13 bananas. That's around 23 yen per banana. If you eat 3 of them a day, well, that's around 69 yen per day. And don't worry about them being green, they'll ripen right afterwards. This is Kobe beef, but at 1,500 yen or around $15 per piece, only Rich Neko can afford this. But Rich Neko doesn't cook for himself, so he won't buy it. Now, leaving the store and going back to the dorm, I spotted a 100 yen store version of a convenience store. If there are no actual supermarkets in your area or in your nearby vicinity, you might want to go and check out one of these. The prices are usually more affordable than in typical convenience stores. But now we need to move to dinner, and first, once again, the carbohydrates. And for this part, I'm not gonna present that. I'm gonna have my friends Tomoko and Victor do that for me.
PKG, Tamago.
Protein interruption!
Alright, bro. What you should get for your epic evening meal is you get yourself one of those cooked chickens at the convenience stores. In Japan, every single convenience store has pre-cooked and pre-spiced chicken available for you to buy for around 200 yen. It's a really great deal. Then you get those 40 yen soybean sprouts in addition to that, fried up all together, maybe throw in an egg, a little bit of bacon, and you have a very cheap and ultra delicious and healthy dinner for your muscle needs. Alright, back to the carbohydrates.
PKG, Tamago, kake, gohan.
But the tamago is nama tamago.
Raw eggs.
Raw egg.
Raw eggs.
Hot white rice.
And raw egg.
Take off your clothes and pour it on your naked body.
It's on the rice. よくみんな食べますね。学生とかね。学生
Especially
さん。
students.
Yeah, a really simple dish, but I couldn't be bothered to film it. Sorry. Anyways, I do have another secret tip though, so that's slightly unhealthy, but it's delicious. What you should do is you should get a very plain cheeseburger at a convenience store, and then heat it up in the microwave and separately fry up a little bit of bacon and eggs, combine it all together. Then you have a very cheap but slightly unhealthy evening meal, and it's way cheaper than buying one of the premium burgers that are also available at the convenience stores. So, what is our favorite rich friend Rich Neko up to?
Here is Rich Neko back at it, going to one of the nearby restaurants to go and eat supper now.
Rich Neko actually had to take the subway to get to his favorite restaurant, the Don. So add the subway fee to his daily expenses, twice, because he obviously has to return afterwards too. The Don is basically Japanese McDonald's. Hey, Rich Neko might be rich, but he's still a student after all, so no fancy restaurants for him this time round. Rich Neko ordered his favorite dish, katsudon. Katsudon is an egg-fried white piece of meat, and, well, it comes with rice. It's really delicious. But afterwards, he spotted a bakery, and it is actually in the same building downstairs. The bakery had a variety of breads, and also Pokemon-shaped donuts. So, are those Pokemon-shaped donuts in Rich Neko's budget? Of course they are! What isn't in Rich Neko's budget?
So let's go and try it out. Right, it doesn't taste like anything special. I feel ripped off now.
Seriously, this guy is in Japan, is able to enjoy the culture and have the time of his life. And then he complains about Pikachu-shaped donuts? Seriously, fuck that guy. I'm glad you got ripped off. You deserve to get ripped off. Right, so this concludes everyone's day. So let's compare the totals. As you can see, 1,000 yen is enough to get by every single day in Japan. And if you actually do that, you might be able to treat yourself sometimes, like Rich Neko does every single day. But not every single day, because you're poor. So what is the conclusion of this video? Fuck you, Rich Neko! Fuck you! If you haven't watched it already, I made a choose your own adventure here on this YouTube channel called Choose My Day in Japan. Basically, it is a day in my life vlog, but you get to choose how my day progresses by clicking on one of the 2 end screens that pop up at the end of the video. Oh, I just made the first part of the adventure pop up right here as an end screen on this video, clicking it to get right to the beginning of the adventure. Please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope to see you next time.